Healing Whole. Embrace, engage, and empower your journey from trauma to triumph. Written and published by Better You Books. Chapter 1. Unveiling Trauma. Trauma is an invisible force, held within the silent confines of the heart and the echoing chambers of the mind. It is a deeply personal, often misunderstood phenomenon that doesn't discriminate by age, race, or socioeconomic status. It touches lives universally, yet uniquely, twisting through the fabric of existence like a thread that refuses to be woven smoothly into the tapestry of life. To begin understanding trauma, we must first acknowledge its vast spectrum. It is not solely born from catastrophic events, wars, natural disasters, or grave physical assaults. It can also emerge from experiences perceived as less severe, yet equally transformative. A harsh word from a trusted teacher, the chronic illness of a parent, or an unexpected betrayal by a friend, these too can leave lasting imprints on the psyche. As you hold this book, remember, each page is a step towards unveiling not just the nature of trauma, but also the resilience and potential for healing that resides within you. The journeys here are not just of others, but yours as well, reflected in the mirror of shared human experience. The nature of trauma. Trauma can manifest itself as a shadow, following us long after the initial event has passed. Psychologically, it disrupts our cognitive frameworks, how we view the world and ourselves within it. Emotionally, it can keep us in a heightened state of alert, where feelings of sadness, anger, or fear become a persistent undertone to daily life. Physically, it might present as insomnia, fatigue, or a myriad of other symptoms that often elude clear medical diagnoses. At its core, trauma affects the nervous system, a complex, delicately balanced system designed to protect us. When faced with danger, our bodies react swiftly. The heart races, muscles tense, and breath quickens, all primed to respond to threat. However, when these reactions are triggered without respite, or when the danger is more emotional than physical, our bodies and brains may continue to live in an invisible state of emergency. Anecdotes of resilience. Consider Maya, a middle-aged nurse, who experienced the sudden loss of her spouse. The world around her continued as before, yet for Maya, time seemed disjointed, as if every moment was both an eternity and a fleeting second. She found herself unable to recall simple routines at work or keep track of conversations. Trauma had enveloped her daily reality, robbing her of joy and focus. Then there's Jamal, a young man who grew up in a neighborhood rife with violence. Even in the safe confines of his college campus, he felt a lingering sense of dread and mistrust. His trauma, invisible to others, was as real and constraining as physical chains. These stories echo the diverse impact of trauma, illustrating that its tendrils reach far into various aspects of life, from personal relationships to professional performance. Self-assessment tools. Identifying the presence of trauma within oneself is the first crucial step toward healing. It involves tuning in to your emotional and physical responses and recognizing patterns that might indicate unresolved trauma. This chapter introduces several self-assessment tools designed to help you identify these signs. One such tool is a simple questionnaire that measures your usual responses to stressful situations. Do you find yourself disproportionately angry? Do you withdraw? Another tool might track your physical reactions through the day. Are there moments when your breath quickens for reasons you cannot explain? Do your muscles tense without physical exertion? Embracing the journey to healing. Understanding trauma is akin to preparing the soil before planting a new garden. It requires patience, care, and sometimes the courage to delve into hard, unyielding places. Through this knowledge, however, comes the power to begin anew, to plant seeds of resilience that can thrive. This chapter, and indeed this book, is about laying down those tools in front of you. Each anecdote, each piece of advice, each scientific insight is a tool designed not to excavate your pain, but to help you build a bridge over it. By the end of this journey, you will not only understand what has been holding you back, but also possess the skills to navigate and redirect your life's trajectory towards a horizon of your choosing. Remember, each narrative shared in this chapter is not merely a story. It is a reflection of potential, a potential for change, for growth, and ultimately, for healing. Whether you see yourself in Maya's disjointed sense of time or Jamal's pervasive unease, know that within these pages lies the beginning of a new chapter of your life. The journey from trauma to triumph is deeply personal, often challenging, but profoundly possible. Chapter 2. Mapping the Mind. When we endure trauma, it isn't just our emotional landscape that shifts, but also the biological underpinnings of our brain. The mind, a labyrinth of endless corridors and doors, is transformed by traumatic experiences, affecting how we think, feel, and interact with the world. Understanding the neuroscience of trauma is crucial to beginning our journey of healing. This understanding allows us to reclaim the agency over our minds that trauma often strips away. The impacted brain. Understanding neurological changes. Trauma can alter the very structure and function of the brain. Primarily, it affects areas like the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex. The amygdala, responsible for detecting fear and preparing for emergency events, becomes overly reactive. Meanwhile, the hippocampus, which assists with storing and retrieving memories, becomes impaired under chronic stress, undermining its ability to create and place memories in a proper context. This disconnect can cause traumatic memories to surface unexpectedly. Furthermore, the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain involved in decision-making and social behavior, can also be affected. It typically moderates our responses, and its impairment can lead to difficulties in managing emotions and making rational decisions. Recognizing these changes is more than an exercise in biology. It is vital because it underscores that the effects of trauma are not merely psychological or emotional, but are deeply rooted in our physiological makeup, thereby destigmatizing trauma responses. Restoring the mind. Harnessing neuroplasticity. Fortunately, our brains are dynamic. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life, gives hope. This means you can influence how your brain functions through specific practices and therapies which we will explore. Mindfulness and meditation are among the most powerful tools at our disposal. By training our minds to focus on the present and observe our thoughts and sensations without judgment, we can begin to weaken the traumatic pathways, reinforcing more adaptive neural networks. Imagine you're walking through a forest. Initially, the path you tread is overgrown, difficult to navigate. But the more you walk it, the clearer it becomes. Similarly, every time you engage in mindfulness, you're clearing a path in your brain, making it easier to travel with time. Cognitive restructuring. Rewiring your thought patterns. Cognitive restructuring is a method used to understand and alter negative thoughts. The idea is to challenge these and replace them with more balanced and realistic ones. This approach can decrease the emotional impact of memories and alleviate the symptoms of PTSD. For instance, you might believe that you are entirely responsible for an event that traumatized you. Cognitive restructuring helps by allowing you to challenge this view, dismantle it, and see the event more realistically and compassionately. Engagement exercises, practical steps. Let's engage directly with these ideas through a simple exercise you can perform regularly. Mindful breathing. Sit or lie in a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose. Hold for a moment and exhale slowly through your mouth. As thoughts enter your mind, acknowledge them and let them go, always returning your focus to your breath. Begin with 5 minutes a day and increase gradually. Identifying cognitive distortions. Write down a negative thought you have about yourself. Next to it, write evidence that supports the thought and evidence against it. Try to view the situation from different perspectives. How would someone else view it? Is this thought a fact or an opinion? This process can help shift your perspective and reduce the power of negative thinking. Visualization. Visualize a place where you feel completely safe and tranquil. It could be a real place or an imagined one. Focus on the details, the sights, the sounds, the smells. Spend a few minutes immersing yourself in this place whenever you feel overwhelmed. In healing from trauma, the adage mind over matter takes on a literal significance. By mapping our minds, acknowledging the changes wrought by trauma, and actively engaging in practices to alter these impacts, healing begins. We are not erasing memories, but changing how they affect us, reclaiming control over our thought processes, emotions, and ultimately, our lives. As we continue on this journey, remember that while the path may be challenging, each step forward is a step towards not just recovery, but a reclamation of self. With every mindful breath, every challenged thought, and every visualization, you are slowly but surely mapping a new, healthier mind landscape. Chapter 3. Body Wisdom. Trauma, as we have explored, does not confine itself merely to the corridors of our minds. It also intricately weaves itself into the very sinews and cells of our bodies. Our bodies remember. They hold on to moments of terror, episodes of grief, and every instance of unspoken anxiety, often long after our conscious minds have forgotten them. This is the profound, yet often overlooked, wisdom of the body. In this chapter, we delve into the concept of body wisdom, elucidating how trauma lodges itself within our physical self and how, through intentional practice, we can liberate these deep-seated memories for healing. The body's memory. When faced with traumatic events, our bodies react instinctively. Muscles may tense, heart rates can soar, breaths shorten, or, conversely, we might find ourselves frozen, barely able to move at all. These are not mere reactions, but are the body's attempts to protect us. Even after the danger has passed, our bodies continue to guard us, holding these patterns and responses. Over time, these stored responses can manifest as chronic pain, tension, fatigue, and various other physical symptoms. The idea here isn't just that the body holds on to trauma, but that it does so in a way that often communicates what we have not yet verbalized. It bears our untreated wounds, signaling through our physical selves that healing is needed. Listening to your body. The journey to tapping into body wisdom begins with listening, truly listening, to what your bodily sensations are telling you. This might mean noting when your breath quickens during a seemingly benign conversation, or recognizing a certain heaviness in your limbs on a particular anniversary. These sensations are not random. They are your body speaking its history, its hurts, and its needs. The practice of body scanning can be a powerful tool here. It involves lying down, closing your eyes and mentally scanning your body from head to toe. This isn't a search for pain or discomfort, but an open invitation to notice any sensation without judgment. The goal is to connect with your body and acknowledge what it's feeling, without trying to change or fix anything immediately. Healing through movement. Once we begin to understand our body cues, the next step is learning how to respond to them, often through movement. Modalities like yoga, tai chi, and even simple stretching can become acts of release and relief. These forms of gentle, mindful movement help to dissolve the tension, create flow, and promote relaxation. They teach us how to reclaim a sense of safety within our bodies. Yoga, for instance, with its varied postures and focused breathing, encourages a deeper embodiment, a state where you are not just aware of your body, but are present and engaged with it. It's about grounding yourself in the reality of physical experience, where each stretch and breath counters the body's fight-or-flight response. Integrating breathwork. The breath is a powerful ally on your journey towards healing. Most often, without our conscious awareness, trauma influences our breathing patterns. Breathing techniques, or pranayama, as it's known in the practice of yoga, can be particularly transformative. Exercises like the 4-7-8 breath, inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, exhale for 8, are effective for calming the nervous system. Such practices not only provide immediate physical relief, but also help train your body over time to respond differently to stress. Developing a routine. Consistency is key in harnessing the therapeutic powers of body awareness. Developing a routine, whether it's morning stretches, regular yoga classes, or evening meditation sessions, helps reinforce a state of physical and emotional safety. Regular practice not only builds strength and flexibility, but also deepens the body's capacity to regulate stress and recovery. Embodying healing. As you continue to engage in these practices, something remarkable happens. You begin to feel more in your body, not just as a passive container carrying you through your days, but as an active, living part of your healing process. Every movement, every breath becomes an act of resilience, a step towards reclaiming your body from the grips of trauma. Through embodied practices, what we are aiming for is a re-establishment of trust in ourselves and our bodies, a trust that was likely damaged or lost following trauma. Here, in the reconnecting, is where true healing begins. As with any aspect of healing, remember this is your unique journey. Some days might feel incredibly productive and others less so, but each day, each practice is a step forward. Your body knows the way to healing. It holds the wisdom. Listen to it, engage with it, and most importantly, trust it. In doing so, you pave the way for profound recovery and a reunion with the wholeness that is inherently yours. Chapter 4. Emotional Alchemy. In the quiet of your own heart, have you ever felt a storm brewing? Perhaps it begins as a whisper, a small wave of discomfort, or a surge of emotions so powerful it seems impossible to tame. You are not alone. Emotional turmoil is a common thread woven through the fabric of human experience, particularly pronounced for those who have faced trauma. The journey of healing from trauma is not only about stitching wounds or seeing scars fade, but about transforming the very way we relate to our emotions. This transformation is what we will explore in this chapter as a form of emotional alchemy, the art of turning emotional lead into gold. The landscape of emotional turmoil. Trauma can leave behind a labyrinth of emotional responses: anger, fear, sadness, joy, strangely mingled with guilt. and an unpredictable swing between feeling too much or nothing at all. These responses form the raw materials for our alchemical process. Understanding them is the first step in mastering them. Emotions are not just feelings. They are physiological responses that affect your entire body. When you experience emotions, your brain is sending signals throughout your body, preparing it to respond to your environment. This is normal and necessary for survival. However, in the aftermath of trauma, these emotional responses can become disordered, disproportionate, and disconnected from the present reality. Grounding, the foundation of stability. Before we can transform our emotions, we must first learn to stabilize them. Grounding techniques are essential in this process. These methods bring us back to the here and now, providing a sense of stability when emotions feel overwhelming. Imagine yourself as a tree, your feet like roots spreading deep into the earth. This visualization is a simple yet powerful grounding technique called the tree method. When you feel swept away by emotional turbulence, visualize this scene. Feel your feet press against the ground. Imagine them rooting down, drawing up stability from the earth beneath you. Physical actions such as this not only distract the mind, but also recalibrate your emotional state, allowing for a clearer, more centered approach to processing feelings. Emotional journaling, the alchemist's lab. Alchemy is an art of transformation, and the alchemist's lab is the space where raw materials are refined and transformed. Emotional journaling creates such a space for your feelings. It is here, on the blank page, that you can spill out emotions in their raw form and begin the process of understanding and reshaping them. To begin, simply write what you feel, without judgment or censorship. Let the emotions flow through you and onto the page. This act of externalization helps to declutter the mind and provides a visual form to your internal world. Over time, review your entries, look for patterns, triggers, and your responses. This process not only aids in self-awareness, but also empowers you to manage and anticipate your emotional landscapes more effectively. Creative expression, the transmutation. Creative expression is emotional alchemy at its most dynamic. It harnesses the energy of emotional turmoil and transforms it into something beautiful, tangible, and often healing. Whether through painting, music, dance, or writing, creativity allows you to express feelings that might be too complex or intimidating to articulate in words. Engaging in a creative activity can also be meditative. It draws your focus away from distressing emotions and redirects it towards the act of creation. This shift is not about escapism, but about transformation. As you create, your mind processes and arranges chaotic emotions into a structure, often leading to new insights and perspectives. Emotional intelligence, the higher alchemy. The ultimate goal of emotional alchemy is to develop emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage both your emotions and those of others. This development is a higher form of alchemy that turns emotional insight into interpersonal skills. Practicing empathy is a core component of emotional intelligence. It involves listening to and understanding the emotions of others without judgment, which in turn teaches you about your own emotional responses. Exercises such as role reversal or active listening can enhance empathy, helping not just to heal ourselves, but to connect more deeply with those around us. The alchemical gold. As we end this chapter, remember that emotional alchemy is not about erasing or invalidating your experiences, but transforming them. It is about taking what is raw and refining it into something purposeful and powerful. This transformation does not happen overnight. It is a journey. Yet, it is a journey that holds the promise of turning the deepest leaden pains into the most resilient golden joys, forging a path not just to recovery, but to a renaissance of the emotional self. Healing is not just about returning to who you were before the trauma, but about becoming who you were meant to be. As you continue to engage in the practices of emotional alchemy, you will find that the most profound changes often come from the deepest wounds. Here, in the crucible of your own heart, you possess the power to create something truly valuable from the seemingly insurmountable. Embrace this power, engage with it, empower yourself, and most importantly, transform. Chapter 5. Narrative Healing. As you turn the pages of your own life story, each chapter scribbled with its highs and lows, you find certain passages marked by trauma, stark, unyielding, and seemingly indelible. It's in these tough, shadowed spots that your story feels most out of your control. But what if you were given the chance to rewrite these chapters? Not to erase them, for each line contributes to who you are, but to reframe them, altering your perspective, and thereby transforming pain into a narrative of triumph. This process is what I call narrative healing. It is based on the understanding that the stories we tell ourselves about our experiences significantly influence our emotions and actions. By changing the narrative, we open up new pathways to healing that were once barricaded by despair and hurt. The science of storytelling and healing. Narrative psychology teaches us that the human psyche instinctively structures experiences into a narrative form. These stories help us make sense of the world, highlighting causality, continuity, and most crucially, meaning. Trauma, however, can disrupt this narrative, leaving gaps or creating a storyline that reinforces victimhood and hopelessness. Healing begins when you actively engage in revising this narrative. It's a form of reauthoring your life, where you aren't changing the facts, but you are changing the emotional imprint of those facts. Researchers like Dr. James Pennebaker have found that expressive writing about traumatic events can lead to significant improvements in both psychological and physical health. The act of writing helps to organize thoughts, provides an outlet for emotion, and offers a new lens through which to view suffering. Setting the stage for your narrative healing. To embark on this reauthoring, you must first establish a safe space, both physically and mentally. Create a comforting environment where you can reflect without disturbance. This might be a quiet room in your home, a peaceful spot in nature, or anywhere that nurtures a sense of security. Now arm yourself with a journal. This is going to be your tool, your companion through this journey. As you write, remember this isn't about crafting perfect prose. It's about honesty, exploration, and transformation. Writing prompts to guide your narrative healing. Identify and acknowledge the trauma. Begin by writing down a straightforward account of the traumatic event or phase. Describe what happened, focusing on the facts. Explore your feelings. Next to the factual account, write about how this event made you feel at the time and how you feel about it now. This dual perspective can highlight how your feelings have shifted over time and may reveal insights into your emotional resilience. Reframe the narrative. Look at your story and consider other angles. Was there a moment of strength that you overlooked? Perhaps there was a lesson learned, a skill gained, or an unexpected opportunity that arose from the hardship. Write a new version of your story, highlighting these positive aspects. Dialogue with your trauma. Imagine your trauma as a character and have a conversation with it. Ask why it came into your life, what it took from you, and also what it brought you. This exercise can reduce the hold trauma has on your psyche by externalizing it. Letter to your younger self. Write a compassionate letter to the version of yourself who experienced the trauma. Offer the understanding, support, and advice you wish you had received then. Visualize a future free from the pain of this trauma. Describe what your life looks like without the heavy chains of this trauma. Be vivid and detailed. How do you feel? What are you doing differently? Engaging your new narrative. Narrative healing is not a one-time act. It's a continuous process that requires commitment. Return to your journal regularly. Update your stories as you grow and as your understanding of your past changes. Over time, you'll notice a shift in how you relate to your trauma and how you perceive yourself, not as a victim, but as a survivor and ultimately a thriver. This chapter is your permission slip to take back the pen that writes your life story. As you do, remember that every word you write not only reclaims your narrative, but also reaffirms your power. With narrative healing, you embrace the profound truth that while you may not have had control over what happened to you, you do have control over the story you tell about it. This realization is liberating and is your first step toward not just healing, but thriving. Chapter 6. In the quiet aftermath of trauma, amid the stillness that follows the storm, lies the potent seed of resilience. This inner strength does not merely allow us to endure, it empowers us to thrive, to rebuild, and to transform adversity into a narrative of survival and growth. The journey of resilience is both personal and universal, a testament to the indomitable spirit that resides within each of us. To cultivate resilience is to make a conscious choice. It is a decision to seek out the light when darkness looms large, to stand firm when the winds of despair howl, and to move forward when the path is obscured. In this chapter, we explore how resilience can be nurtured, strengthened, and effectively harnessed in your journey from trauma to triumph. Understanding resilience. Resilience is often misunderstood as a trait that people either possess or lack. However, it is more accurately described as a dynamic process, a set of skills that can be developed and enhanced over time. It involves behaviors, thoughts, and actions that can be learned and cultivated by anyone. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or hardship. Rather, it is about the ability to navigate through difficulties and adapt to challenges. It is the capacity to bounce back from setbacks and to emerge from adversity stronger and more resourceful. The roots of resilience. The roots of resilience are deep and varied, drawing nourishment from several sources. Self-awareness. Recognizing one's emotions and triggers is the first step toward managing them effectively. Self-awareness allows you to understand what you need to heal and to make choices that promote recovery. Mindfulness. The practice of being present in the moment without judgment can significantly reduce stress and anxiety, enhancing emotional balance and resilience. Techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, and yoga can help cultivate mindfulness. Self-efficacy. Believing in one's ability to influence outcomes and solve problems enhances resilience. This confidence can be built through successful problem-solving experiences and by setting and achieving realistic goals. Optimism. Viewing life through a hopeful lens while remaining realistic about challenges contributes to resilience. Optimism is not about wearing rose-colored glasses. It is about maintaining a balanced view of what is possible. Support systems, strong relationships, and support networks provide emotional comfort and practical help in difficult times. Feeling connected to others can reinforce your ability to withstand and recover from psychological trauma. Flexibility. Adaptable individuals are better able to cope with change and uncertainty. Flexibility involves the ability to consider alternative perspectives and solutions and adjust one's approach as needed. Building resilience through exercises and practices. To strengthen your resilience, consider incorporating the following exercises and practices into your daily life. Journaling. Writing about your thoughts, emotions, and experiences can provide clarity, release pent-up feelings, and foster a greater sense of control. Goal setting. Establish manageable, achievable goals to build confidence and a sense of accomplishment. Start small and gradually increase the challenge as you meet your targets. Physical activity. Regular exercise can significantly enhance psychological well-being and resilience by reducing anxiety, depression, and stress. Skill development. Learning new skills or enhancing existing ones can boost self-efficacy and provide a constructive focus for your energy. Community engagement. Participating in community activities can provide a sense of purpose and belonging, strengthening your support network. Embracing setbacks as growth opportunities. Resilience involves a positive adjustment during and after adversity. It also recognizes that setbacks are integral parts of the growth process. Each challenge presents an opportunity to learn, adapt, and evolve. When faced with setbacks, resilient individuals reflect on their experiences, seek lessons, and apply them to future challenges. This reflective practice transforms potential negative experiences into catalysts for personal development and empowerment. Conclusion. Cultivating resilience is an empowering act, one that enables you to navigate the complexities of healing with grace and strength. As you integrate these practices and perspectives into your life, you will find yourself not just recovering, but thriving, equipped with the tools to transform your deepest challenges into sources of strength. Each step taken on this path reinforces not only your capacity to overcome adversity, but also your ability to envision and create a fulfilling future. This resilience, once cultivated, becomes a wellspring of vitality that fuels your journey from trauma to triumph. Chapter 7. In the quiet aftermath of trauma, amid the stillness that follows the storm, lies the potent seed of resilience. This inner strength does not merely allow us to endure, it empowers us to thrive, to rebuild, and to transform adversity into a narrative of survival and growth. The journey of resilience is both personal and universal, a testament to the indomitable spirit that resides within each of us. To cultivate resilience is to make a conscious choice. It is a decision to seek out the light when darkness looms large, to stand firm when the winds of despair howl, and to move forward when the path is obscured. In this chapter, we explore how resilience can be nurtured, strengthened, and effectively harnessed in your journey from trauma to triumph. Understanding resilience. Resilience is often misunderstood as a trait that people either possess or lack. However, it is more accurately described as a dynamic process, a set of skills that can be developed and enhanced over time. It involves behaviors, thoughts, and actions that can be learned and cultivated by anyone. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or hardship. Rather, It is about the ability to navigate through difficulties and adapt to challenges. It is the capacity to bounce back from setbacks and to emerge from adversity stronger and more resourceful. The roots of resilience. The roots of resilience are deep and varied, drawing nourishment from several sources. Self-awareness. Recognizing one's emotions and triggers is the first step toward managing them effectively. Self-awareness allows you to understand what you need to heal and to make choices that promote recovery. Mindfulness. The practice of being present in the moment without judgment can significantly reduce stress and anxiety, enhancing emotional balance and resilience. Techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, and yoga can help cultivate mindfulness. Self-efficacy. Believing in one's ability to influence outcomes and solve problems enhances resilience. This confidence can be built through successful problem-solving experiences and by setting and achieving realistic goals. Optimism. Viewing life through a hopeful lens while remaining realistic about challenges contributes to resilience. Optimism is not about wearing rose-colored glasses. It is about maintaining a balanced view of what is possible. Support systems. Strong relationships and support networks provide emotional comfort and practical help in difficult times. Feeling connected to others can reinforce your ability to withstand and recover from psychological trauma. Flexibility. Adaptable individuals are better able to cope with change and uncertainty. Flexibility involves the ability to consider alternative perspectives and solutions and adjust one's approach as needed. Building resilience through exercises and practices. To strengthen your resilience, consider incorporating the following exercises and practices into your daily life. Journaling. Writing about your thoughts, emotions, and experiences can provide clarity, release pent-up feelings, and foster a greater sense of control. Goal setting. Establish manageable, achievable goals to build confidence and a sense of accomplishment. Start small and gradually increase the challenge as you meet your targets. Physical activity. Regular exercise can significantly enhance psychological well-being and resilience by reducing anxiety, depression, and stress. Skill development. Learning new skills or enhancing existing ones can boost self-efficacy and provide a constructive focus for your energy. Community engagement. Participating in community activities can provide a sense of purpose and belonging, strengthening your support network. Embracing setbacks as growth opportunities. Resilience involves a positive adjustment during and after adversity. It also recognizes that setbacks are integral parts of the growth process. Each challenge presents an opportunity to learn, adapt, and evolve. When faced with setbacks, resilient individuals reflect on their experiences, seek lessons, and apply them to future challenges. This reflective practice transforms potential negative experiences into catalysts for personal development and empowerment. Conclusion. Cultivating resilience is an empowering act, one that enables you to navigate the complexities of healing with grace and strength. As you integrate these practices and perspectives into your life, you will find yourself not just recovering, but thriving, equipped with the tools to transform your deepest challenges into sources of strength. Each step taken on this path reinforces not only your capacity to overcome adversity, but also your ability to envision and create a fulfilling future. This resilience, once cultivated, becomes a wellspring of vitality that fuels your journey from trauma to triumph. Chapter 8. As we journey further into your recovery, A crucial aspect that demands our attention is the integration of complementary therapies. These therapies, although secondary to primary treatment modalities, possess profound strengths in harmonizing and amplifying the healing process. This chapter delves into the artistic and innovative realms of healing, emphasizing how non-traditional therapies such as art, music, and eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, EMDR, can play pivotal roles in the mosaic of your recovery. The expressive power of art therapy. Art therapy operates on the principle that creative expression can foster healing and mental well-being. It is a therapeutic technique rooted in the idea that creative expression can help individuals to resolve conflicts, develop interpersonal skills, manage behavior, reduce stress, increase self-esteem, and achieve insight. Engaging in art therapy provides a safe space to explore emotions, feelings, and thoughts that might be too difficult to express in words. The act creates a bridge between your inner world and tangible expression. As you paint, draw, or mold, your emotional load is transferred onto the canvas, clay, or paper, which helps in externalizing feelings that are internal and sometimes chaotic. This process can be immensely liberative. Imagine sitting before a blank canvas, your hands guided by the colors of your emotions. For someone who has experienced trauma, the simple act of choosing colors can be an assertion of control and self-expression. Each stroke is a dialogue from the soul, and the resulting artwork becomes a narrative of healing. The rhythmic healing of music therapy. Music therapy is an established health profession in which music is used within a therapeutic relationship to address physical, emotional, cognitive, and social needs of individuals. Through musical involvement in the therapeutic context, your abilities are strengthened and transferred to other areas of your lives. Music therapy also involves synergies of rhythms and harmonies that can guide you into states of deeper relaxation or heightened awareness. It provides a non-verbal outlet for emotions and can be particularly beneficial for those who find it hard to express themselves in words. In the context of trauma, rhythmic engagement can help synchronize the body and mind, effectively recalibrating the nervous system, which often becomes dysregulated. Consider the impact of a soothing melody or the cathartic power of drumming. These experiences can resonate with and modulate our innermost layers of tension and unrest, facilitating a harmonious internal environment conducive to healing. The focused relief of EMDR. Eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing, EMDR, is a unique, non-traditional form of psychotherapy designed to diminish negative feelings associated with traumatic events. Unlike traditional therapies that focus on shifting emotions and thoughts, EMDR employs the patient's own rapid, rhythmic eye movements. These movements dampen the power of emotionally charged memories of past traumatic events. The process of EMDR involves focusing simultaneously on spontaneous associations of traumatic images, thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations with the bilateral stimulation that is most commonly in the form of repeated eye movements. Through EMDR, the traumatic memory tends to lose its intensity, thus becoming less distressing and more manageable. Imagine a memory that has haunted you, triggering fear or despair. Now, picture being able to revisit that memory without the emotional surge that typically accompanies it, allowing you to reframe the narrative of the trauma on your terms. Integrating complementary therapies. While these therapies are distinctive, they also complement each other, and their integration into a comprehensive treatment plan can enhance your resilience and recovery. It is vital, however, to approach these therapies with willingness and openness, guided by trained professionals who can tailor these modalities to suit your individual needs. Drawing your own conclusion. This exploration of complementary therapies is not exhaustive, but serves as an introduction to the possibilities that these tools offer. Whether it's through the brushstrokes of a painting, the beats of a drum, or the guided eye movements in a therapist's office, the goal is the same: to support you in your journey toward healing and wholeness. By embracing these therapies, you are not discarding traditional methods, but enriching your therapeutic landscape. As you continue to weave these practices into your life, you may find that they not only alleviate symptoms, but also empower you to reclaim your narrative and ultimately, your life. Chapter 9. As dawn breaks and the soft rays of the sun gently coax awake the world, offering new beginnings, opportunities for renewal, and a deepened sense of purpose. It's in these early hours that the essence of what we choose daily crafts the very core of our healing. Transformative lifestyles embody the conscious creation of a life that not only addresses the aftermath of trauma, but also fosters an environment where continual growth and healing thrive. The foundation of daily habits. Our days are constructed from habits. These small, often automatic actions form the threads from which the fabric of our lives is woven. When healing from trauma, the reconstruction of these threads can transform a fragile existence into a resilient, vibrant life. Consider, for example, the daily habit of morning reflection. Whether through meditation, journaling, or a quiet walk, this practice can set the tone for a day filled with intentionality. It's a moment to reconnect with oneself, to listen deeply to one's needs, thoughts, and emotions. For someone healing from trauma, this reconnecting is like meeting a friend who has been through a storm and is there, steadfast, ready to support you throughout the day. Nutrition, nourishing body and mind. Trauma can disrupt our body's most fundamental needs, including our relationship with food. It can alter our appetite, influence our food choices, and affect how our body processes nutrients. Healing must involve reclaiming the nurturing aspect of feeding ourselves wholesome, balanced meals. Imagine your body as a garden. What you plant, how you nurture it, and the care you give directly impacts what it yields. A diet filled with a variety of nutrients can help stabilize mood, improve energy levels, and strengthen the immune system. Incorporating foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and vitamins can directly support neural pathways, potentially easing the symptoms of stress and anxiety. In this act of nourishment, we're not merely eating, we're cultivating a sanctuary within us, a stronghold against the echoes of past traumas. Sleep, the healing balm of rest. Sleep, much like nutrition, is fundamental. It's during sleep that our brain processes the events of the day, repairs neural damage, and resets stress levels. Lack of quality sleep can leave the door open to increased anxiety, depression, and diminished cognitive function. Creating a ritual around bedtime, perhaps through a routine that includes dimming lights, limiting screen time, and engaging in calming activities like reading or soft music, can significantly enhance sleep quality. It's during these hours of deep rest that the whispers of trauma grow dim, and the voice of resilience can begin to speak more clearly. Physical activity. Movement as medicine. Movement is an integral part of reclaiming the body post-trauma. It's not merely about physical fitness, but about establishing a renewed sense of agency over one's body. Activities like yoga, tai chi, or even dance allow for a reconnection with bodily sensations often muted by trauma. They also stimulate the production of endorphins, often termed as natural mood lifters. Think of each movement as a dialogue between mind and body, a conversation that says, I am here and I am capable. This dialogue rebuilds trust in oneself and one's body, a trust that may have been compromised by traumatic experiences. Continuous learning and personal growth. Healing from trauma is not a destination, but a continuous journey, engaging in lifelong learning, whether through reading, taking courses, or exploring new hobbies, invigorates the mind and spirit, offering new perspectives and preventing stagnation. Each new skill learned or subject mastered can also become a stepping stone in rebuilding self-esteem and confidence, qualities often eroded by trauma. This process echoes the concept that we are not fixed entities. We are always capable of growth, change, and evolution. Embracing routine and flexibility. While the establishment of a routine can provide a comforting structure, it's equally important to cultivate flexibility. Life is inherently unpredictable, and adaptability is a critical skill in managing the challenges that arise. It's about finding balance in the routines we create, allowing for adjustments as needed, and embracing the unexpected as opportunities for learning and growth. In conclusion, transformative lifestyles are about making mindful choices each day. Each choice, from what we eat and how we sleep to how we move and continuously learn, is a step toward not merely surviving trauma, but thriving in its aftermath. It is about building a life that respects where we've been and celebrates where we are going, a testament to the resilience and unwavering strength of the human spirit. Chapter 10. As you stand now on the precipice of a new horizon, it is essential to recognize the transformative journey you have embarked upon, a journey of not just surviving trauma, but thriving beyond it. The previous pages of our journey together have brought tools, techniques, and insights that aim to fortify your resilience and nurture healing in every facet of your existence. Now let us look forward to the horizon that beckons with the glow of potential and promise. Visualizing a future full of potential. The future, often viewed through the lens of uncertainty and fear, especially post-trauma, can now be re-envisioned as a space filled with opportunities. Visualization is not merely a tool for athletes or high achievers. It is a profound mechanism through which your brain can begin to see and believe in possibilities. Imagine yourself not as you were, nor entirely as you are, but as you could be. Start each day with a simple visualization exercise. Close your eyes and picture yourself achieving a goal, whether that's speaking in a calm, assertive manner in a meeting, enjoying a social event without anxiety, or simply feeling a sense of peace at the end of the day. Let these visualizations become the mental soil in which the seeds of your future intentions grow. Setting realistic, empowering goals. Goal setting is an art form that balances aspiration with attainability. Post-trauma life demands that goals are not just lofty ambitions, but are scaffolded steps leading to greater achievements. Begin with short-term goals that you can achieve within a few weeks or months. These might include maintaining a daily journal, practicing mindfulness for 10 minutes each day, or attending a weekly support group. Achieving these smaller goals provides a continuous stream of encouragement and reinforces your belief in your ability to manage challenges. As confidence in your capabilities grows, expand your goals to include longer-term aspirations. Perhaps you dream of returning to school, changing careers, or starting a new relationship. These are not just dreams, they are potential realities. Each goal achieved is a testament to your resilience and a cornerstone upon which your new life is built. Maintaining momentum in healing. Healing is not linear. It weaves through moments of profound strength and periods of vulnerability. Maintaining the momentum of healing demands a deep commitment to the practices that foster well-being. Continue to engage with therapies that resonate with you, whether conventional or complementary. Maintain the connections you've fostered with individuals and groups that support and uplift you. Remember, every day won't feel like a step forward, and that's okay. Setbacks are not failures. They are part of the human experience and, more importantly, opportunities for learning and growth. Managing setbacks gracefully. When setbacks occur, as they inevitably will, handle them with grace and understanding. Utilize the skills you have learned, perhaps grounding techniques when you feel overwhelmed, or cognitive reframing when you confront negative thought patterns. Reach out to your support network for perspective and encouragement. Then, reassess your strategies. Sometimes, a slight adjustment in approach or expectations can make a substantial difference. Inspirational stories of triumph. Let us draw inspiration from those who have walked similar paths. Consider Maya, who, after surviving a decade of domestic abuse, used her experiences to fuel her passion for helping others. She started small, volunteering at a local shelter, which eventually led to a full-time position advocating for survivors of domestic violence. Her journey was fraught with challenges, but her commitment to healing and helping others provided a purpose that illuminated her path. Or James, a veteran who struggled with PTSD for years after returning from service. Through a combination of therapy, peer support, and a newfound love for painting, he began to process his trauma. Today, James runs workshops teaching art therapy to other veterans, transforming his pain into a portal for healing, both for himself and his community. The road ahead. As this chapter of your journey with this book closes, a new chapter in your life beckons. You possess the tools, insights, and knowledge to continue forging a path toward a healed, holistic existence. Healing Whole is a companion that will remain with you, ready to offer wisdom and encouragement as needed. Continue to embrace the journey with hope and determination. Let each day be a step toward your new horizon, a horizon not defined by trauma, but illuminated by your triumph over it. Remember, the path to healing whole is not just about overcoming trauma. It is about moving toward a life filled with joy, purpose, and peace. It is my deepest hope that you find this joy and peace, and most importantly, that you discover the strength within you that has been there all along.